Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Today we're going to talk about quite an interesting American artist that maybe isn't so well known by so many people, but really truly is a great artist, Jean-Michel Basquiat. And Jean-Michel Basquiat was born in December 22nd, 1960 in Brooklyn, New York. He was the second of three children in a culturally rich household. His father, Gerard Basquiat, was Haitian, and his mother was of Puerto Rico descent. So he was of a mixed heritage in this Brooklyn neighborhood. From a young age, he showed a natural talent for art and was encouraged by his mother to visit museums, including the Brooklyn Museum and the Museum of Modern Art. And his early exposure to art really planted seeds that would blossom into a remarkable career. In 1968, the tragedy struck when Basquiat was hit by a car, resulting in a prolonged hospital stay. His mother then gifted him a book, The Gray's Anatomy, for him to be able to study during his recovery. And the book's detailed medical illustrations left a lasting impression on Basquiat and became a recurring motif in his later work. His formal education was a little bit tumultuous. He attended several schools but struggled to conform to traditional academic structures. By 17, he dropped out of high school and decided to pursue his art dream full time. He was known to have great intellect, and creativity was evident from his lack of formal training. He was a vicarious reader, drawing inspiration from literature, history, and art. By the late 1970s, Basquiat emerged as a graffiti artist under the pseudonym Samo, S-A-M-O, short for same old shit. Excuse my language for those of you who might be listening and don't like that word. So he became basically this great graffiti artist. Phrases like Samo as an end to mind-wash religion, Samo as an end to plain art, captured the counter-cultural spirit of the time and gained him this underground sort of fame. He became this sort of like famous underground sort of graffiti figure. By the 1980s, he had transitioned from graffiti to canvas and bleeding street art's raw energy with the expressive techniques of Neo-Expressionism. And this marked the beginning of his rise within the art world. His big break really came in 1981 when he participated in the group exhibition New York New Wave at the Mud Club, curated by Diego Cortez. His work caught the attention of prominent art dealers, and he was offered studio space and resources to create. By 1982, Basquiat's career skyrocketed. He became the youngest artist invited to participate in Documenta, a prestigious contemporary art exhibition in Germany. The same year, he collaborated with Andy Warhol, a partnership that sort of blended Warhol's pop sensibilities with Basquiat's raw emotive style, his emotional style. And the duo's joint work were met with mixed reviews, but highlighted Basquiat's ability to stand shoulder to shoulder with art world's giants. So here he was, quite young, not formally educated, and was already doing work together with Andy Warhol. He has some major themes in his work, and a lot is race and identity, power and inequality, morality and religion, and medical imagery, which probably has to do a lot with that Gray's Anatomy book that he got. He has some, quite famous works of art, but the sad part about him is that he really struggled with fame. He was one of the few black artists in the predominantly white art world at the time. He faced constant scrutiny. While celebrated for his talent, he also endured a lot of criticism that dismissed his work as overly simplistic or other type of things. And the challenges of fame, coupled with his personal struggles, took a toll on him. And he developed a dependency on drugs, which he initially used to cope with the demands of the career. But tragically, on August 12th, 1988, Basquiat died of a heroin overdose just at the age of 27, cementing himself as a member of the 27 Club, a group of talented individuals who died young. Though how tragic that was for him to die so young, the great thing that we need to remember is the impact that he had upon the art world. And even though he, died young, wasn't able to create a lot of art throughout his lifetime. In fact, left school at 17, so we could say maybe 10 years he was working as an artist. He did have a great impact upon art. He had a great legacy upon the art world. Many of his paintings continue to sell for a record number of dollars, up into the millions of dollars. He had one painting untitled 1982 selling for $110.5 million in 2017, making it some of the most expensive artwork ever sold. So even though he, was somebody who, struggled a lot, died young, he still left a great legacy. If you'd like to be able to read more about him, we have a blog written on him on Jean-Michel Basquiat, a visionary voice of Neo-Expressionism. And you can read more about him and see some of the artwork of this truly amazing American artist. Thank you so much for listening. Put a link in the description for that blog post for you to be able to go in to see it. And we really do appreciate you, our listeners, for joining us to learn a little bit about art each and every week. Thank you so much for listening, being part of our community.